Oh boy, it has been another one of them days. I'm supposed to get a game up on the board, and you know what I ain't done yet? I ain't gotten that game up on the board. I ain't got my controller out. Good heck. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I got to setting stream up. I realized I hadn't been charging my controller. So I figured maybe it could at least get 5 minutes. Maybe be okay. Oh, heck, where is my... Show me a video game on the screen. Hank. Okay, here we go. All right, we just finished off scene. Get ready to get cooking. 1 second here. Make sure my monitor is updated. And all these things are things. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, I think we function now. Hank. That's a mess. Okay. Continuing on. September 22, 1:48 p.m. Write Anything Agency. What? So a whole time traveling thing? Was just a ruse put on by the guests at the reception? Looks like it. I knew there had to be some kind of trick to it. Wow, 2 wedding receptions. Can you imagine? Wonder how much that must have cost. I have no idea. But if you have to ask, you're not rich enough to want to know. Still, if you've got the money, it's a pretty good way to cover things up, if you ask me. You got that right. I'm sure I'd have been completely fooled. Hi, I'm back. Hey, Maya. Are you all set to go? Yep, ready when you are. So, what should we start with? Let's start with reviewing what we learned at the trial. What Ellen thought was time travel was really just a performance put on by the Sprockets. But other than that, it seems that what Ellen told us was actually all true. So what really matters right now is the identity of the mystery person Ellen said she saw while she's being attacked. So who is this mystery person? That's the million-dollar question, I'm afraid. But if we want to clear Ellen of any suspicion, then figuring out who they are is key. I think I'll take toilets for 200 instead, Mr. Wright. Well, at least there were only so many people on that airship that night. And we know who the mastermind of the whole cover-up plot was, too, so that's good. You mean the groom Soren Sprocket, right? Exactly. He might know something that could help us out. So then, what am I doing here? Oh. I'm a very busy man, you know. Well, all of the other people involved are Soren's family members. So I thought I'd better start by interviewing you. Even if I probably shouldn't trust a word out of your mouth. Oh man. I have a really tight schedule, but heck, what are friends for, right? Okay, pal, go ahead, ask me anything. You do remember it was you who came to me for help in the first place, right? Right, the incident. I want to go over exactly what happened when... before I step outside this office again. Since you were there, Larry, do you think you could help me get it all straight in my head? I gotta. One second here. Test thing. Okay, so the first reception was held at 7 p.m. on the day of the incident. That's the one you tried to crash, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, that's right. Then they locked me up in a cabin. It was awful, I tell you. Too bad we're not here to focus on you, Larry. And then the incident occurred after this first reception at around 10 p.m. Ellen was attacked in the reception hall by Gloomsbury. He forced her out onto the Vista deck and was just about to kill her. But Ellie fought back and ended up killing old Gloomsbury instead. To cover it up, the family quickly threw together a second reception. That's what Edgy's claiming anyway. But I know my Ellie didn't do it. The key point here is the mystery person Ellen said she saw strike Gloomsbury just before she passed out. Did you see anybody suspicious skulking around that day? Oh, not a soul. Because I was locked up in a cabin at the time. But you managed to escape and sneak back into the reception hall. That's when you switched the lantern in the event hall with the lantern in the hold, right? Did you see anybody then? Oh, the place was completely deserted. I guess because that Pierce Butler guy had everybody gathered together somewhere. That makes sense. He must have been going over the cover-up plan with them. So, clearly the murder had already happened by the time Larry got out. They must have gotten everything ready fast and had the second reception soon after that. Then after that second reception, Ellie went to clean up the reception hall. As luck would have it, that's when she found the body and the lantern I brought up. I tried to do something nice for Ellie out of the goodness of my heart, and this happened. We still don't know exactly what happened during the actual murder itself. We'll just have to look into it, along with the identity of that mystery person. The cabin. So while the murder was taking place, you were locked up in a cabin. Did you see anything unusual while you were in there? Aside from the pterodactyl? Oot? In the cabin? Let's see. Well, there was that pterodactyl flying through the sky. That's pretty unusual. Oh, right. That drawing of that pterodactyl you saw. What's with all the air quotes? I really did see it, I swear. But, Larry, the time travel thing never actually happened. Which means you couldn't have seen a real pterodactyl flying through the sky. Oh? You doubting the eye of a super popular picture book author? No, I'm just sure you saw something else and mistook that for a flying reptile. Heck, you're making me doubt my own eyes. Now I'm not even sure what I saw. Larry's drawing updated the court record. The drawing Larry made. He probably mistook something for what he claims is a pterodactyl in this picture. Either way, you have no idea what actually happened at the real scene of the murder. That's right, and I can say that with every confidence. Oh wow, would you look at the time? I better go. I have a book signing to get to. A book signing? Whose book? Whose do you think? It's mine, of course. It's a Larice Donham book signing. I bet you went around and begged a bunch of bookstores to let you do one. I mean, hey, if you need to... if you need to... Of course not. They're the ones coming around to beg me. Looks like I guessed right. Anyway, I have to go. I'll send you 10 copies of my new book that just got released the other day, alright? 10? And that's very generous of you. What are you talking about? I'm gonna send you the bill too, of course. Just put them down as office expenses or something. Well, see ya! Oh, wait, Larry, we don't need... He's gone. I'll take a copy, boss. Oh, make sure it's signed. Oh, boy. Trucy's not gonna like this office expense. There goes our first lead. What do you want to tackle next, Nick? Alright, we should really hit the streets now, huh? How about we go see Ellen? Sounds good, boss. I bet I can cheer her up. I thought you were going to help Trucy with her magic show again today, Athena. Weren't you supposed to go meet her right about now? Trucy said she was going to practice her new trick on you, if I recall. On me? Hydrate? Yeah, I guess I could do that. Hank. Oh, hey, Spirit of Justice, you've heard of this from before midnight. Welcome back in. Alright, and thank you for the hydrate, Odderish Mail. Okay. May? Really? Trucy's show is an important source of income for our agency, you know. Have I been feeding my gut in diaper? Oh, not as much as I would like, to be sure. Trucy's show is an important source of income for our agency, you know. You can leave the case to us, so you go ahead and run along now. But boss, off you go, Athena. No, I don't want to die. We'd better get going too, Maya. Okay. What law office needs magicians to fundraise? Well, see, the thing is, it's not just a law office. It's a law office plus talent agency. So for whatever reason, we do everything. I don't know. Alright, so where are we going? What's my quest log tell me? Go see Ellen the touchstone. Okay, alright. Imagine being able to pay attention to things it just told me to do. Oh. September 22. Detention Center. Visitor's room. Oh, my poor sweet Soren. I wonder how he's getting along without me. Hello, Ellen. Oh, Mr. Wright, what's going to happen with the trial, do you think? The ASMR squeaking, oh no. Well, first and foremost, we have to hurry up and find this mystery person you saw just before you passed out. Such banging. Do you think that person could be the real killer? It's quite possible, and if we can prove that, we can clear you of all charges. Actually, would you happen to know where Soren is right now? He's usually busy with meetings all afternoon, but he should be home by evening. Aww. I think I'd better go have a chat with him later then. Why am I being treated to a view of someone's underwear? Mr. Wright, don't tell me. You suspect my sweet Soren? Well, he is the one who masterminded the second reception after the time skip. So I thought he might be able to tell us something. Those are Big Boy and his Musk. I know you don't see them often. How could you, Mr. Wright? You can't possibly think my Soren would never kill anyone. All right, just calm down. No, not if you're accusing my Soren. Please, I'm not accusing anybody, so please put the pen and ladle down, all right? Really? Cross my heart. So, for now, would you mind if I ask you a few more things about the case? I'd better be careful not to provoke her. Alright. Soren. Could you tell me about Soren? There's nothing left to tell. He's squeaky clean. Alright, okay. Maybe I should avoid the topic of Soren right now. Oh, let's talk about something else then. Fine, but you won't hear a peep out of me about Soren. Talk about pulling teeth. Pierce Nickety. Could you tell me about Pierce Nickety then? Pierce? He came to Sprocket Manor about a year ago. As the family butler, he's now in charge of everything in the household. Only a year ago? Did he have some kind of special connection with the family? I'm just a maid, so I'm not privy to such things, I'm afraid. Ah. It might have been Soren's order, but Pierce is the one who coordinated the whole thing. Ugh, intrusive thoughts, heck. Going to hydrate an amount more. It might have been Soren's order, but Pierce is the one who coordinated the whole thing. He's the one who really orchestrated the grand time travel farce. He must have quite a bit of authority in that family. But no matter how good he is at his job, how could anybody gain that much influence in a single year? I really don't know. I mean, he is an excellent butler. Wouldn't that explain it? Is it really as simple as that? The butler knows how to do it. Time travel. What you thought was time travel was really just a cover-up carried out by your in-laws. Pierce said Soren was the one who ordered the whole thing. I still can't believe it, even if the second reception was fake.
Soren would never use time travel for something like that. He's very serious about his time machine research, you know?
I heard there's a reason he's researching time machines, actually. Something about something he wishes he could change? But isn't the whole idea of traveling back in time itself a little fantastic?
I don't think so. After all, Soren said real time travelers do exist.
Really now? You think he knows someone who actually traveled through time?
That's right. I haven't seen it personally, but Soren said as much.
Yep, on John T. Tour.
So I believe him.
Somebody who actually traveled through time, huh? It's pretty hard to believe. Thank you, Ellen.
You're going out to do your investigation now, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Please make sure you don't cause Soren any trouble, okay?
I'm afraid I can't promise you that.
What? Please, whatever you do, please don't upset my poor Soren any further. I'm begging you.
I'll do my best not to cause him any unnecessary trouble.
Oh, I couldn't bear it if Soren ever came under suspicion. I'd rather be found guilty myself.
Yikes. Ellen, please, don't work yourself up like this. You don't want Soren to worry, do you?
No, you're right.
And the floodwaters recede once more.
So what do we do now, Nick?
Well, Ellen said Soren is usually in meetings until the evening, so let's save our house call until then. Why don't we go to the mooring dock and figure out our next move from there?
Roger, Nick.
The more to talk about. Wait, hold on. The mooring dock, okay. Again, I tell y'all, in through the eyes, out through the mouth, doesn't touch the brain along the way. The streamer's curse. September 22. Sprocket Park. Mooring dock. So, where should we start?
Let's see. Are there any places we haven't examined yet? We already investigated the reception hall and Sprocket Manor.
I know. We haven't looked at the Vista deck or the hold yet.
Hey, you're right. We've still got some pretty important places left to examine, don't we? The Vista deck is the actual scene of the murder, right?
And the lantern with the body in it was stored in the hold. I think there's a good chance we'll find some important clues in those locations.
Do we know how to get to the hold?
Good question. I think it was labeled in that diagram of the airship in this pamphlet. Oh no.
There it is.
Oh. Oh, that's weird. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Alright, so that's interesting, and also shenanigans. Okay, so these shafts we've determined are elevators. This elevator goes up to the hall, and this one goes up to the Vista deck? Or, I guess it's a lift. It's an elevator on one side and a lift on the other? Sure. But interesting. So if she was being harassed on the Vista deck on this end over here, like on someone, then someone could just come up out of nowhere behind, if that is indeed how that works. I don't know if I trust it. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Alright, up. Let's go. To the hold! Please hold. September 22. Flying Chapel. Hold. So this is the hold. This is where Pierce orchestrated the whole cover-up operation. We'd better go over this place with a fine-tooth comb. Hey, Nick. Weren't we supposed to need a key card to get in here? Ah, you're right. I wonder why it was unlocked. How's it going, Mr. Wright? Oh. Emma, what are you doing here? She's the police investigator. What? Just a little independent investigating for my own sake. Gotta keep the mind sharp. Ah, so the door security system was turned off for the police investigation. We'd like to investigate the hold ourselves. Would that be all right? Yeah, sure. The police just finished their examination anyway. Thanks. We'll just take a quick look around then. Oh, right. You should know that the floor doubles as a huge lift. You can use that lever way back there to raise it up to the Vista deck. The police inspected it already, but didn't find anything in particular interest, it seems. If you do go up to the Vista deck with the lift, be careful not to fall off. Or just smash anybody on the way back down. Got it. Thanks. It goes double for you, Maya. Yes, ma'am. Well, let's get this show on the road. Talk first, the incident. Any progress with your investigation? Nothing inclusive yet, I'm afraid. Almost everybody was involved with the cover-up, so it's hard to know who or what to believe. I know what you mean. Unless you have some compelling evidence, I'm afraid it's going to be a tough trial for you. You're telling me there isn't much time left, so I've just got... Oh, you're telling me there isn't much time left, so I've just got to make do and see what I can turn up. I'm not going to present, we're going to examine. As long as we make sure there's no additional partner perks. Okay, the flowers. These are the flowers we saw in Larry's photo. The petals make them look like little gears. The perfect flower for the Sprocket family, huh? Maybe they were going to shower the couple with the petals? You mean, kind of like how people throw rice or confetti? Yeah, like that. Only, these were found at the scene of a murder instead. Do 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 do. These must be the dishes and glasses they use for receptions. Very fancy. I bet we'd be in big trouble if we broke any of them. Ooh, I want to see Nick. You, young lady, need to stay far, far away from them. Nick? You think I'm going to break them, don't you? Let's just say your rap sheet for breaking things doesn't help your case.
zooming in. So there are 2 male peggable lanterns in the reception hall. That must mean that these 2 are female peg-a-cow lanterns.
Larry got their sexes mixed up when he replaced the one in the reception hall, huh? Didn't he see the horns? The difference is pretty glaring if you ask me.
And yet he managed not to notice. That's what makes Larry, Larry. And Larry being Larry is why I've seen more than my fair share of trouble for a lifetime.
Oh, Mr. Ryan? You know that lantern the victim was found inside of in the reception hall? I'm just about to go piece it back together so the police can examine it.
Oh, okay. We'll stop by for a look too, once you're done fixing it.
Let me refocus that. Okay, so she's running together. Okay. Sorry. Oh, it's a cake, Nick. A cake. It's so big they wouldn't miss one little piece, would they?
If you're that in the mood for a mouthful of styrofoam, sure, knock yourself out.
You mean it's not real? Well, sure fooled me. I was so ready to have some. I'm really craving cake now. Come on, Nick. Let's go get some.
Maybe after the trial is over. What's that? A wedding bell?
According to the pamphlet, it's used on the Vista deck during wedding ceremonies to bless the newlyweds.
I guess they disassemble and store it away here in the hold when it's not being used.
Doot, 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 doot. Oh, look, Nick. It's an airplane.
I wonder if Soren built that one too.
Hey, why don't we take it for a spin? Just a quick tour around the neighborhood.
And who do you propose is going to pilot that wooden death trap?
Me, of course. Who else? Don't worry. I've seen people fly airplanes on TV plenty of times.
I think I'll pass. I've still got my whole life ahead of me.
Candle?
Ah, it looks like there's some fingerprints on this candelabra.
Yeah, I just got done dusting that. I was able to pull a set of left hand prints.
Do you know whose prints they are?
The victims. Yes. The prints belong to the victim, Dumas Bloomsbury. As the victim is left-handed, even though the note next to him says he was right-handed. Well, was written by a right-handed person. Nick, I just figured out something amazing.
You did?
Get this. If the fingerprints on the candelabra were from his left hand, Mr. Doom and Gloom must have been left-handed. This also isn't necessarily actually true. Because I'll tell you what. If you are right-handed, you might hold your light in your left hand to do things with your right hand. Just saying. What do you think of that? Do I have the makings of a great detective or what?
You're a real silly if you thought that deduction was in any way encyclopedic.
Hey, you're pretty good, Maya. I looked into it myself. Sure enough, the victim really was left-handed. Really? I got it right? Awesome.
Ah, good for you, Maya.
Good for you. That's all you've got to say?
think you did a real great job, Maya. Way to go. I guess one can never have too much info.
Now you're talking.
But come to think of it, this candelabra isn't in the photo Larry took of the hold, is it?
That picture was taken when they were getting ready for the first reception, right? Candelabra must have been brought in here sometime after that, then.
It's still possible it has something to do with the incident, though. I'd better add it to the evidence file just in case.
A candelabra from the hold, bearing fingerprints from Gloomberry's left hand, which is his dominant hand.
Add it to the court record, yes.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Ryan, you can have this fingerprint powder if you like.
You're giving this to us?
Sure. I have 4 other sets.
Thanks. I feel like there's something more to the candelabra, but I can't put my finger on it.
References to finger? Well, let's go ahead and do some examinating, because I'm sure it will want me to, no? Can no longer interact with.
Wait, what? Oh.
The fingerprint powder isn't real. It's not in my inventory.
So this is the airship's engine. It's pretty impressive.
It's all rhythmic, like a heartbeat. It's a literal heart. The Flying Chapel. Wait, was it Colonel Mustard with a candlestick in the observatory? Well, somebody with a candlestick on the observation deck. Oh no. Which of the character has a clue-like name? And it's all rhythmic, like a heartbeat. It's a literal heart of the Flying Chapel. Look at all those huge gears spinning around and round, round and round. I think I'm starting to get dizzy.
Yeah, me too.
It's time to throw the lever and ascend.
Oh, look. There's the lever to the lift Emma told us about.
Let's try going up on it. I'll go flip the switch. Here goes nothing.
Wait, I'm not even on it yet. Well,
The blood! The blood! Oh no.
Hey, Maya, stop the lift!
Oops, sorry. I got a little carried away.
Never mind that. Move over a little.
Okay.
Is that blood?
Blood? Let me see.
Could it be Mr. Gloomsbury's blood?
Well, this lift goes up to the Vista deck where the murder took place, so I think that's the most logical conclusion.
But I thought the victim was clubbed to death, and that there wasn't much blood. Something tells me I'd better take a picture of this.
Yes. Lift bloodstain added to the court record. A bloodstain that was found on the side of the lift in the hold. It's unknown whose blood it is.
I should ask Emma about it some more later. Maya, can you bring the lift back down now?
You got it. I'll go flip the switch again. There. Done. I want to find out some more about that bloodstain. But for now, I guess we should go up to the Vista deck and take a look around the actual crime scene for ourselves. You must be great from up there. I bet it'll be awesome. You mean it would be if it wasn't the scene of a murder? Okay, to the Vista deck we go. Make sure you actually get on the lift this time, Nick. I know. Okay, I'll just flip the switch again and away we go. Oh, the wind! Oh no. Wow, look at the gorgeous view. So this is where Ellen was attacked and Mr. Gloomsbury was killed. Phoenix always ruins a moment with murder talk. Well. Yeesh. One wrong step and it's kersplat on the ground below. Should we go investigate the stuff that's a little closer to the edge? Well, I don't see much of anything over there. The police investigation didn't turn up any clues either, so maybe we don't need to? Oh, I get it. You're scared, aren't you, Nick? Of course not. Come on, let's go back down and finish checking out the hold. Oh, that makes it even worse. Oh. It's like if it went down while we were up there and there's just this big gaping hole in the ground next to us. Big gaping hole, you say? I should call him. Alright, hydrate, I can do that. Alright, thank you, Irish Mail. Okay, we've been up, we've been doing. The candelabra. Emma, can we check out this candelabra a little more? A little more? What do you... Oops. Oh, what happened? I almost dropped the candelabra, and the candle slipped off. Oh no! Oh no. Well, let's be careful with that. It might be important evidence. Wait a minute. Now what? One of the pins that hold the candles is broken.
There was a hole there, it's gone now.
No! What? There's definitely something fishy about this candelabra. There is? What makes you say that? Call it forensic investigator's intuition. We already tested this for prints earlier, so let's test it with luminol this time. Knowing Emma, she'd use every test she has at the same time if she could. Just hang on, this will only take a second. I hope this turns up a new lead somehow. Well, Emma, did you find anything? Take a look at this, Mr. Ryan. What is all that blood doing on there? Candelabra updated in the court record. A candelabra from the hold bearing fingerprints from Gloomsbury's dominant left hand. Traces of blood were found on it. Maybe somebody got hurt while they were setting up for the reception? These pins are pretty sharp. But if one of the pins is broken, it means there was some force involved. Do you think maybe somebody got stabbed? But nobody reported anything like that. That's quite a bit of blood. I wonder whose it is. If I have anything that might shed some light on that, I should probably show it to Emma. Do I have things that would show light on that? The blood! Send her off from the Vista deck. Do we see a candelabra on this desk? This. We've seen this. That's the one that Persnickety has, right? Well, it's not a candelabra. Bark. This, however, is a candelabra. Oh ho 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 ho. Oh ho 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 ho. Oh, no wait, there's more than one of them. There's one over here, too. And there's one over here. There's so many of them. We're surrounded. Right, there wasn't one here at this time. I don't know. Did we ever figure out the pterodactyl? The pterodactyl we have not yet learned the secret of. Although we did talk to Larry about it and tried to tell him it's probably not actually a pterodactyl because there's no actual time travel yet. So that would be very unusual. And then he's like, "You're gaslighting me." We've not actually learned what we've actually seen. Okay, so what should we present? Are we going to show that the candelabra was not here to begin with? Is there something I can do to help you with that? No time travel yet? That's not what Future Midnight says. Actually, I was hoping it would help me move my investigation along. Sorry, but that's not going to do much for you here, I'm afraid. If you have time travel, go on a prediction market and make lots of money. Sorry, but that's not going to do much for you here, I'm afraid. That's too bad. Aw, don't look so glum. You have to keep a positive outlook. Why don't you take a break with something sweet? I highly recommend snackoos myself. You want to try some? No, thanks. What if you use time travel to spend more time in diapers? I don't know how time travel would help you do that. I mean... if you need more... Well, see, you don't... Time machines don't give you, like, more time. They don't extend your lifespan. Now, you might use them in secondary ways, like go to the future where they've cured aging or something. Or, you know, if your limiting factor is you don't have a lot of spare private time, sure, you can, you know, get an empty hotel room. You can always find an empty hotel room, probably. Park. Just gonna vacation in different timelines. Make sure you get your vaccines. It is no good for you to hang out in some place and die of smallpox. Or bring it elsewhere. No, thanks. I appreciate the offer, though. Suit yourself. You don't know what you're missing. Okay, so if we're going to show her something questionable... Oh yeah, how about the blood on the actual guy's hand? I mean, that's because of the... It's absolutely unbelievable. What kind of monster would plan to commit a murder on somebody's happiest day? I take it this means you don't have any significant new leads. No, I'm afraid not. You?
I've got nothing.
I wish I could be of more help.
Well, thanks anyway. I appreciate it. All we can do is keep on keeping on, right?
Okay, so I do. Show Emma a suspicious piece of evidence.
Huh?
You're not gonna help me. Ugh. Doo-doo-doo-doo. What is suspicious? Especially candelabra suspicious.
So you're sure this is the murder weapon in this case?
Positive. The shape of the victim's injuries and the shape of his clock are a perfect match.
I see.
I dare say there's somebody who would get knocked over the head with this thing. It's more likely to cut off their future than send them to the past.
I can't disagree with you there.
Show this? No.
Snackoos!
Also, that doesn't look like a sweet snack. Okay, suspicious. This is suspicious. Right, if we know that the guy is left-handed. It's absolutely unbelievable. What kind of monster would plan to commit a murder on somebody's happiest day?
No!
Keep on keeping on. This isn't suspicious. Did I show this one? This one that has candles in it? Nope. Snackoos! And, oh, the pterodactyl. Yeah. That's suspicious. Nope. She doesn't care about pterodactyls. Product placement. Dun, 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 dun. Contusions. Oh yeah, the key cards? Question mark? No? Alright, bark. I've guessed too many times. I'm bringing up the cheat sheet. Did she the blood on the lift? She, well, said I should ask about it later. I don't know how much later we're talking. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. It could be. I'm checking. Okay, ba-da-ba-bop. Bum, bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Oof. Hold on, that's not bark. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Bum, 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 bum. Suit yourself.
Emma, about this bloodstain. Doesn't something about it strike you as odd?
What's so odd about the victim's blood?
That's not exactly. There's just something about it that bothers me.
Now that you mention it, I can't say I necessarily disagree with you. Wait, was I right? Phoenix right?
Maybe I should talk about this some more with her.
The blood stain.
About this bloodstain.
What about it?
There's something about it that's been bothering me.
Yeah, you just said that. Oh yeah? What's that?
Well, there's a huge bloodstain on the crime scene lift, and a bloodstained candelabra. Now, this is only a guess, but I'm thinking maybe these two bloodstains are from the same source?
Like there was a struggle, and not only did Gloomsbury die, but he got some stabbing in with someone else.
I'm thinking maybe these two bloodstains are from the same source.
I guess that is a possibility.
Can we compare the two bloodstains? Would that take a lot of time?
Are you kidding? Don't underestimate the power of science. It'll be done in a jiffy.
A jiffy?
And the results are in. That didn't take long now, did it? Seems the blood from the lift and candelabra are from the same person. Lift blood stain updated the court record. A blood stain that was found on the side of the lift. It matches the blood on the candelabra. Is it pronounced Giffy?
Don't do that!
Candelabra updated in the court record. Candelabra from the hold bearing fingerprints from Gloomsbury's dominant left hand, stained with the same blood found in the lift.
Don't do what? Burk. Well, the victim was clubbed to death, and there wasn't all that much blood.
But if this isn't Mr. Gloomsbury's blood...
Well, this is just a guess, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed somebody with a candelabra pin? That would explain both the huge bloodstain on the lift and the blood on the candelabra.
Oh my goodness. If that's true, then that means there was somebody else present at the scene of the murder.
It does, doesn't it? This just might substantiate Ellen's statement about a third person. Emma, could you have this blood analyzed? I know you just did some analysis to it now, but we're gonna need a little bit more than that.
Sure thing.
A mysterious bloodstain on a candelabra with the victim's prints on it. And this just might be the thing to back up Ellen's memory of seeing a third person. Next up, the reception hall. It might be worth taking another look around in there.
The reception hall? The forensics team is in there investigating right now.
Oh, they are?
Well, we don't have time to just sit around, so let's go check out something else.
Good idea. We could go question some people. Especially Soren. I have quite a few questions for that guy.
Sounds good, Nick. Off to do some legwork then?
Yep. I thought we'd head to Soren's house for starters.
He was accompanying the police on their investigation here earlier, but he's probably home by now.
Great. Thanks. Later, Emma.
Okay, so we've done all the talking. Done all the presentating. September 22. Sprocket Manor. Foyer. I still can't get over how gorgeous Sprocket Manor is.
Just don't touch anything.
I wasn't going to.
She was definitely going to.
I was told I had guests.
Thank you for seeing us, Soren. We know you're busy. We'd like to ask you a few questions about the case, if you wouldn't mind. Soren?
You're Ellen's lawyer, right?
Huh? Yes, that's right. Don't tell me he doesn't remember me.
Will Ellen be found guilty?
we're doing everything we can to prevent that. That's why we're here, investigating. Will you please tell us what you know? Soren?
Alright, fine.
What was that pause all about?
Alright, we talk. The cover-up.
It was you who gave the order for that large-scale cover-up plan, isn't that right?
What large-scale cover-up? And don't play dumb with us. You held 2 wedding receptions in order to try and cover up Mr. Gloomsbury's murder.
Ellen thought that through the power of the timekeeper you built, she traveled back in time.
Ah, so that's where there were 2 receptions.
Wait, does he seriously not know why the reception was held twice? Looks like I'll have to delve deeper here.
Delve! Time travel.
So, the cover-up scheme, that fake trip through time. You're not the one who was behind it all? Pierce Nickety stated in court that you were the one who ordered it to be carried out.
Pierce said that. I see. I leave him in charge of everything about me. So whatever he decides is, in essence, my decision too.
So I take it that you didn't know anything about the cover-up?
That's none of your business.
But you're in 2 wedding receptions in a row. And still, you claim to know nothing?
I have nothing more to say to you. Please leave.
But Soren.
Oh, there's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see. Go away.
It doesn't get clearer than that, huh? He's looking especially uncooperative, but maybe I can grab his attention somehow. There's still that one piece of evidence I don't know much about. It's worth a try.
Is it the letter? Is it the pterodactyl? Is it the sister? Curious piece of evidence.
Oh, I'm gonna...
Correct menu for this.
Does this bring anything to mind? Even some small, vague detail will do. This guy really doesn't want to talk, does he?
Okay, curious evidence.
Nope. Nope.
It's a little too curious. I don't know what's curious enough to actually show him. He doesn't really seem to care that much. Yeah, he's a, not giving neurotypical vibes. We don't need him to. Is he on the spectrum? It is very likely that that's what they're going for. Even if they didn't know what that was back in the time this video game was created. Ah! Alright. What does he wish for? Oh. We have to harass him about his sister. Sis. I'm sure your sister would want the truth of this case to be known. How rude. He's intruding on the private lives of others. Part of your job as a lawyer.
Oh, I apologize. I guess showing him the picture of his sister wasn't such a good idea after all.
So you actually do want me to show the candelabra, huh?
Soren, have you ever seen this before?
That's...
Soren? What is it?
Oh, He's destroying his mechanical pencil leads. Oh no! Clickety, 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 pop.
Oh. Soren, what is it?
Nothing.
Why did his whole demeanor change all of a sudden? He's gone pale as a ghost, too. Oh. Soren.
Nick, look at his stomach. He's bleeding.
Somebody help! Soren's collapsed.
Master Soren.
Get him to the hospital. Quickly, now!
Poor Soren. That must be one serious wound. What is it, Nick? He gets stabbed by the candelabra.
Well, when I showed him the candelabra, his whole demeanor changed. So I was just thinking that maybe his injury is candelabra inflicted.
Huh? What's this?
It's Soren's notebook.
Beep beep.
Zoom!
I want to know the secrets. I know it will tell me them, but I want to know them already.
He must have dropped it in the rush to get him to the hospital.
Ooh, his notebook, huh? I wonder what's written in it. Don't you? Come on. You know you want to take a peek?
Soren's notebook. What to do, what to do.
Take a peek.
I feel guilty snooping around in someone's personal notebook, but maybe we should take a little look-see? Whoa, it's filled with big words written in tiny letters. I guess he uses his notebook to write down his invention ideas. Huh?
What is it? Did you find something?
After March 8th of last year, the content of this notebook changes dramatically.
Like how?
Well, ever since that date, Soren's been writing down every detail of his life, as in every.
Maybe he decided to start keeping a diary?
But this is way too detailed to be an ordinary diary.
Either he's really compulsive, or maybe just plain forgetful.
But is it really as simple as that? I feel like something happened on March 8th that made Soren change.
Is that when the sister passed, or how long ago was that? Well, why don't you let me take a look at that and I'll tell you.
Hey, Maya, let go or we'll rip it.
Oh no. Now look what you did. You dropped it. You should have just let me take a look.
How is this my fault?
Oh no, Nick!
Ha! It fell into that pool of Soren's blood! No! The evidence! I can't read a thing on these 2 pages now.
Uh-oh, you're gonna get it now.
Ah, I guess it really is my fault after all.
Doomed.
Let's just put it away carefully for now. We can't let anything else happen to it, you hear?
Soren's notebook added to the court record. A database-like notebook that chronicles the events of each day in minute detail.
Except for where there is blood.
Hey look, there's something sticking out of the notebook. Looks like a newspaper article.
Let's see. It's about the car accident Soren's sister died in. It happened on March 8th. That's the day Soren's notebook completely changed. Oh, wow!
What else does it say?
It says the driver at the time of the accident was Dumas Gloomsbury. It says Soren was in the car too and that he had sustained severe injuries. It's just like Pierce said. Soren completely changed after the accident.
Newspaper article added to the court record. Clipping of a newspaper article detailing the car accident that resulted in Selena Sprocket's death.
So, Bloomsbury was driving the car when they got into that accident.
Oh, there's some shenanigans. Look at the things we've picked up. Book. Soren had been writing nothing but ideas for inventions in this until March 8 of last year, when he abruptly began to chronicle the events of each day in excruciating detail. However, details of the day of the murder have been rendered illegible by a bloodstain. I wonder why. Newspaper article summary. A vehicular accident on March 8th led to the death of Soren's older sister. Soren was also in the car and suffered severe injuries. Gloomsbury had been the one driving.
So, Bloomsbury was driving the car when they got into that accident. That opens up the distinct possibility
Of
Soren holding a grudge against Gloomsbury.
You think Soren could have?
I don't know. It's not like I have any proof. We should talk to Pierce about this when we return Soren's notebook to him. Though he doesn't seem to be here right now. Maybe he's at the Flying Chapel?
What would he be doing at the Flying Chapel? He has nobody to butler for there, and as the butler, he should be in the house when he's working.
Bark, bark, bark.
Well, I guess that's our hint to go back. To the hold or to the mooring dock? September 22. Sprocket Park. Mooring dock.
I sure hope Pierce is around here somewhere.
Ah, Mr. Wright and Miss Fay. Oh, there he is.
Hello, Pierce. We were just looking for you.
I'm sorry for Master Soren's sudden departure earlier. You have my sincerest apologies.
It was totally understandable, really, but shouldn't you be at his side right now?
It's fine. The other servants are with him, and I'm in constant contact with them. Do not forget to give him his pain medication, and be sure to keep him hydrated. Also see to it that he's not up and about. He needs complete bed rest.
Is this what happens when you're too rich for normal peasant phones?
I must return to Master Soren now, but did you want something of me?
Actually, here's Soren's notebook. He dropped it when he collapsed. I hope Pierce doesn't notice the blood stain.
Oh, thank you very much for this. I will see to it personally that Master Soren gets it back.
Thank you.
Soren's notebook given to Pierce. I trust you did not look inside.
Oh, of course not.
Because it is filled with numerous patent-worthy ideas, you see.
Look, I know you're busy, but would you mind if I asked you a few questions about the case? There, that's the watch.
Well, as I said, I must be getting back to Master Soren. So if you could make it quick, I'd greatly appreciate it.
All right, I'll make this as quick as I can. You did it, didn't you?
Talk.
The cover-up. I'd like to ask you about the cover-up you tried to pull off, if you don't mind.
I told everything there is to tell in court already. Disposing of anything that may harm the Sprocket family's reputation is simply part of my job.
Sounds like a lovely job description.
I have nothing more to say on the matter. I will say I do not think it's wise to spend time on topics that have already been discussed.
Right.
The accident.
Pierce, could you tell us more about this accident?
Where did you find that? And did I not already tell you about that accident?
You did, but you conveniently left out one crucial detail. The fact that Dumas Bloomsbury was driving the car at the time.
Did I not mention that? I suppose it simply did not come up then.
If Mr. Bloomsbury caused the accident, why did the Sprocket family fire him? Wouldn't that usually be the natural consequence of such a huge mistake?
Please do not misunderstand. Bloomsbury stayed on with the family. On Master Soren's request.
What?
That is the type of person Master Soren is. Perhaps it was the influence of Miss Selena's kind nature. She was such a sweet person that even in her last moments, she thought of Master Soren. Could be some of that principle. He just learned a very expensive lesson.
Not only did Soren not hold a grudge against Bloomsbury, he insisted on keeping him on. That could also be part of the grudge. It's like, guess what? You have to live with this. You can't escape it. Now, I really don't understand how that guy's mind works.
Serena's last moments? Oh, good heck.
So, you were present for Selena Sprocket's last moments?
Yes, in my professional capacity. The accident happened on the way to a certain party.
And what kind of party was it?
It was Miss Selena's engagement party. Bloomsbury's injuries were minor, but Miss Selena's and Master Soren's were critical. They were brought to the Sprocket family's regular hospital.
Wow. To have such a terrible thing happen on what was to be a day of celebration.
Thanks to the surgeon in charge, Master Soren pulled through. But Miss Selena, she...
Aww.
The last words Miss Selena said to me were, "Please help, Soren." Ever since then, I've attended Master Soren and tried to help him in any way I can.
I see. Selena's fiancé must have been devastated.
Indeed. Were you the fiancé? Is that why you have the watch? No, that would be...
Well, no, it would make sense, because he said he was there in his... in his professional capacity. So what professional capacity would keep a butler in a hospital? Was it you? It must have been you.
The shock of losing Miss Selena was so great, he quit being a surgeon.
He was a surgeon? Wait. So the surgeon who tried to save them both, was he?
Yes, he was Miss Selena's fiancé. What a terrible tragedy.
How awful. So, where is your fiancé now?
Good question. I wonder that sometimes myself.
So Selena had a fiancé. I'd like to find out more about him, but I doubt I'll find him anytime soon.
So, are we done here? I'm afraid I must be going.
Could you please just tell me a little more about Soren?
No. There's nothing more to tell.
Can't seem to get any real answers out of him just by asking him questions. But there is that piece of evidence I still don't know much about. Oh, come on, don't do this to me! Maybe he'll be able to tell me something about it.
A curious piece of evidence. Is the candelabra still the curious piece of evidence?
Pierce. Have you ever seen this candelabra before?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Bum, bum, bum. Ooh. My Magatama reacted. Pierce must be trying to hide something from me. I have to break those psyche locks and find out what.
Take that!
Pierce's secret.
Pierce. You're hiding something from me about this candelabra, aren't you?
It is one of the candelabras from the Flying Chapel, is it not? Is there something special about it?
Actually, yes. There's some blood on it, you see. I think the blood might belong to this person.
Take that!
Soren has a rather nasty wound on his body, doesn't he?
Ah.
Ooh.
Yes, Master Soren is indeed injured.
Are any of the other people involved with this case injured?
Not as far as I know.
I see. Then let me ask you this, Pierce. Do you suppose Soren could have been more directly involved than you're letting on?
What in the world would make you think that?
Oh, I've got my reasons. Mr. Gloomsbury's fingerprints were found on this candelabra's stem, which leads me to believe that Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed Soren with it.
You cannot possibly think Master Soren is the one responsible for the murder.
I don't have any conclusive evidence of that at the moment, but I do think he had a motive. This proves that Soren had a motive to kill Mr. Gloomsbury. Oh, right.
Take that!
Even though it was an accident, Mr. Gloomsbury was the man responsible for taking Soren's sister away.
Let us suppose that Gloomsbury did stab Mr. Soren with the candelabra. Can you prove that it had anything to do with his case? He might have been stabbed at some other location, for some other reason. What?
Sorry, but I can prove it was related to this case.
Oh, really?
Soren's stabbing and Mr. Gloomsbury's death are definitely connected.
Are they now?
This is the piece of evidence that ties Soren's injury to Mr. Gloomsbury's murder.
school is it? Huh? This wouldn't have anything to. Oh, well. I don't think this is it. Give me a better connection. Oh. The timekeeper being the murder weapon? Suspicious third party. I'm gonna go with this first.
Take that!
What? A bloodstain was found on the side of the lift that goes between the hold and the vista deck. Its blood matches the blood that's on the candelabra. I obtained the results straight from the police, so I can assure you this information is correct. This bloodstain on the lift indicates an important fact. It shows us that Soren was there during the crime. Murder was in the reception hall. No. Soren's blood is on the lift, which can only mean one thing. He was there, wasn't he? Soren was at the scene of the crime. You are very astute, Mr. Wright. It appears I cannot hide this from you any longer. Very well. I will tell you everything. Wow. Heck. Pierce's secret. We've pierced. Could you tell me about Soren's injury? Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmised, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared. He attacked Miss Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with a candelabra, he said. Even though Master Soren was badly injured, he went after Gloomsbury. So, Soren really was at the scene of the murder, wasn't he? Yes, that is correct. However, by the time Master Soren arrived at the scene, Gloomsbury had already been murdered. So, Pierce is saying that Soren was at the crime scene, but that he didn't have anything to do with the murder itself. Even still, why did you try to keep such an important piece of information from me? I'm very sorry. Master Soren's injury and Gloomsbury's murder were not directly related. Okay. Throwing out a poll into y'all. Oh, good heck. Two minutes to choose. If we continue with this game, we find a stopping point to go back to our full-bore run, or start Jigsaw. Master Soren's injury and Gloomsbury's murder were not directly related. Oh, sorry. Master Soren's injury and Gloomsbury's murder were not directly related, so I decided not to mention it, so as not to unnecessarily complicate the investigation. Now then, I am sorry, but I am afraid I really must go now. Please excuse me. Thank you for your time. Pierce should have told us everything in the first place and saved us all a lot of time.
Yeah, but I guess it isn't that simple for him. He is the family butler after all. He sure didn't make our job any easier, though, did he? But at least we learned something new. Soren was at the scene of the crime.
That's true. One step forward is better than none. So, what next, Nick?
Let's see. The forensics team might be done investigating the reception hall by now. Let's go check it out.
Sounds like a plan.
Boom, boom. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. This attorney wins the poll by 3 votes.
September 22, Flying Chapel, Reception Hall.
It looks like the police are done with their investigation in here. I wonder if it's okay for us to take a look around now.
Oh, hi, Mr. Wright.
Hi, Emma. Would it be all right if we investigate in this room now?
Sure. The police are all done, so go for it. Oh, remember that broken lantern? Restored it to perfection. I have to say, it's some of my best work.
Sounds like the repair job was a resounding success. Thanks, Emma. We'll take a good look at it, too.
Well, I have to be getting back to the station. Try not to mess up the crime scene if you can help it.
We'll be careful.
I'll be seeing you. Bye, Emma. Thank you.
Well, shall we get started?
Bam, bam.
Uh-huh. Examination. There's a person here whom cannot be interacted with. Bark, 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 bark. Balloon? It's a hot air balloon, a symbol of humanity's ambition to take to the skies. It's kind of a romantic notion, don't you think?
Yeah. But I just noticed it doesn't seem to be tied up to the ceiling all that well.
I'm sure it's fine. Oh, please don't let it fall on my head.
Worked. Okay, so some things we've looked at before. People are manipulating pill bottles behind me. Nick,
What's wrong, Maya?
this hasn't moved an inch since the last time we looked at it.
It would be pretty creepy if it had.
I mean, it is on wheels.
Look, we're in the middle of an important investigation, so try not to shout, okay?
I was just hoping it'd change somehow. You know, so it'd be more interesting.
The last thing we need is for things to get more interesting.
Oh yeah, get sparkly at me, I see it.
This is where the murder weapon, the timekeeper, was displayed. I guess it's in police custody now. Ah, what's this? A key?
Let's ask the maid about it.
Good idea. She might be able to tell us something. Excuse me. Could I ask you a question?
Oh, of course. What would you like to know?
Do you know anything about this key?
It's the key that starts up the timekeeper.
A startup key?
And that's right. Oh, and the first startup of Love ceremony was so beautiful. The bride and groom each had a symbol of their love, and when they put them together, oh, how romantic it was.
Key of Love added to the court record. First startup of Love ceremony? What exactly did that entail?
Oh, it's a ceremony in which the couple activated the timekeeper together for the first time. I suppose it was kind of like a cutting ceremony.
And what are these symbols of their love you mentioned?
Well, that's kind of an industry secret, so I can't really say. I'm sorry. I better be getting back to my work.
Looks like there's an order from above not to talk about it.
It's another beautiful day outside, isn't it?
Yeah, if only it wasn't the scene of a murder, we could really enjoy it.
True.
It must be tough for the maids to have to work on a beautiful day like today. Hydrate? Yeah, I could do that.
Imagine me paying attention.
Thank you, Midnight. It must be tough for the maids to have to work on a beautiful day like today.
Oh, we don't mind.
Whoa, I didn't think you could hear me way over there.
We don't think of it as simply cleaning. It's more like we're wiping away all the sadness stuck to this airship.
Oh, wow. Talk about devoted. Okay.
Hey, I think the tablecloth is new. You must have changed it since yesterday.
Huh? How can you tell?
Because the fruit stains that were there are now gone.
I should have known, because it's because it's food related. I guess we've checked out everything of interest in this area. Okay, so you're telling me we've seen everything. I get it. Okay. Alright. Okay, what's my next quest? I did investigate it. You told me that we investigated. Oh, hold on. Look around. More maid. Aye. Oh, exit. Hey, take a look at that door. I wonder where it goes. No, don't open it.
Shall we open it up and see? Wait, please don't open that. It's the emergency escape hatch. It leads directly outside. You'll fall to your death.
Phew, that was a close one, huh, Maya?
I'll say. Would you like a door? An unguarded door that goes directly to doom. Doors to doom. Okay, Imp. More balloon. I don't know if anything silly will turn up around balloon. Did I not see it turn at some point? Oh, there's the patched up Pegable. Oh, and that with the blood. Please tell me you noticed the blood when you're putting it back together. Here's the broken lantern, all patched up. I do mean patched. Oh, they put the outside one on. They put the inside thing on the outside? That belongs. You got it backwards. Emma said that this was some of her best work, so I know she put a lot of effort into it. It was pretty smashed up. It must have been a lot of work to piece it back together. Well, she gets an A for effort at any rate. Ah. This wheel handle on the back has some blood on it. It looks like somebody gripped it with a bloody hand. Maybe the blood got there when the killer was putting old Doom and Gloom's body inside? Nope. Do you see anything else worth noting? Ah! Well, there's another one of these lanterns over there. So it might be a good idea to really compare the two later. Broken lantern updated in the court record. The lantern in which the victim's body was found. Emma restored it, but something about it still seems off. So do I have to go back and look at it and re-notice that? Because I'll do it! Excuse me, is the fog machine ready to use now? No, I'm afraid not. We only put dry ice in it when there's an actual reception. I see. That's too bad. She still wants to blast me with a cloud of smoke, doesn't she? Doom, 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 doom. Oh my god. Flower pot with a valve on it. I guess the whole place is going. There we go. This is re-reviewable. This is the unbroken Pegable lantern. And this is the one that Emma restored. I wouldn't say they look exactly the same, more that they are made up of the same parts. Wait a minute. What is it, Maya? I think there's something off about this Pegable. Just about everything about it looks off to me. I'm not quite sure what it is, but some detail just isn't quite right. Show me the restored lantern again. Hey, I know. It's this, right? What? Where? The thing about the restored lantern that's off is the color of the wheel handle. Look, it's the wheel handle. It's a different color altogether. Emma got the inside and outside wheel handles switched around. Oh, wow, you're right. And there's some blood here on this handle. This is somebody gripped it with a bloody hand. Right, which means that the blood got on the handle from inside the lantern. Broken lantern updated in the court record. Restored lantern. There's a blood stain on the inside wheel handle, as if somebody gripped it with a bloody hand. Do you think the blood got there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern? It's really hard to say at this point.
Sure. Well, I think we've checked out everything relevant to this case.
What are you two doing here?
Wait, what are you doing here?
Oh.
Soren, shouldn't you be resting in bed? You're injured.
How do you know about that? Never mind. My notebook. Have you seen my notebook? I can't find it anywhere. My notebook. I need my notebook.
What's the matter with him?
My notebook. I have to have. Master Soren? Master Soren, I told you to stay in bed. My notebook. Definitely on the spectrum. It's also entirely possible that the accident caused short-term memory issues. Yeah. And that would be why of the writing everything down. But, yeah. My notebook. Here you go. Yes, this is it.
So, Soren gets emotionally unstable without that notebook of his. What if he's secretly a robot? Would it be secret? Alright, snack. Snack! Guess I'll go grab snack. Oh, why does it have to be a snack? Poor fella. Oh dear. Don't need to grab a snack when you're standing right there. Mm.
Thank you, dog guy.
Mm. So, Soren gets emotionally unstable without that notebook of his. Looks like he's calmed down now. Soren, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute?
I cannot allow you to do that. What if his wound would open up again? He needs to rest.
You're about to pass out? No! Seek medical help. I guess you're right.
Now, if you'll excuse us. Master Soren, let us retire. All right.
My notebook.
There they go.
Pierce is right. I guess he really isn't in any condition to be questioned. Well, let's go back to the agency and sort through what we've learned. Good night. Good night, midnight. Have a good night. Have a good midnight. Have a mid. Okay, let's get out of here. Where do they wish me to go? To the office, okay.
September 22, Write Anything Agency.
We're back. Anybody here?
Oh, hi, boss.
Athena? I thought you were Trucy.
I guess you could say that I'm taking a short break. Have a midnight snack in your honor. I will be in bed at midnight, my time. No question. Well, I guess you could say that I'm taking a short break. But enough about me. What about the investigation? Did you find out anything?
Well, turns out that the third person Ellen said she saw at the crime scene might have been the Soren Sprocket.
But then why didn't she recognize him? What? Really? I always thought it seemed suspicious.
Thing is, by the time Soren got to the Vista deck, the murder had already occurred, apparently.
No way. I don't buy that. Not for a second. It's cover-up. Cover-up, I tell you.
That's certainly a possibility. And as a lawyer, it's certainly a possibility I have to pursue, but
What? It's your job, right? So pursue the heck out of it. Just do it.
yeah, but is that really what's best for Ellen?
Soren can be found guilty if the truth comes out tomorrow. But if we don't pursue this possibility, Ellen could be found guilty instead. Oh man. Either way, it sure doesn't spell out happily ever after for two of them. So, what are you going to do, Mr. Rye?
I can't let an innocent person get convicted. So I guess all I can really do is pursue the truth. Even if it ends up devastating Ellen.
What a tough call to make. Still, there's always a chance, right? Maybe something will come up during the trial to save their marriage.
I hope so. I really do. Well, Maya, let's go.
Break the news to Ellen, you mean?
Yep.
Mr. Wright, please take me with you. I bet I could help you cancel Ellen through this piece of bad news.
Athena. I appreciate the offer, but don't you have somewhere else to be?
Do I? Athena, what are you doing here? I've been looking all over for you. Come on now, let's get back to practicing. No way, my body can't take it anymore. Boss, you gotta help me.
A lawyer always keeps their promises, Athena.
But boss... If you bail on me one more time, Athena, I'm gonna use a real blade on you.
Sorry, Athena, but somebody's gotta do it. Better than you than me, though. Hang in there, kiddo. Come on, Maya. We'd better get going. Going.
Detention center, right? I'm gonna pretend I remembered it this time. Fine. Hmm. September 22, Detention Center, Visitor's Room.
Hello, Ellen.
How did your investigation go, Mr. Ryan?
Before I answer that, I need to ask you something. Was Soren with you when Mr. Gloomsbury attacked you in the reception hall?
I'm sorry I kept it from you. I was afraid that he'd come under suspicion if I told you. So I kept quiet about it. I'm really sorry.
I see. I thought it was probably something like that. Listen, Ellen, I'm afraid I had to make a very difficult decision based on what I found out.
What kind of decision?
This is very hard for me to say, but the mysterious person you saw at the scene of the crime was most likely Soren.
What?
In other words, in court tomorrow, I'm afraid I'll have to propose the possibility that Soren is the true culprit.
No. Soren is innocent. No.
But don't you see, if I don't try to pursue that line of thought, you'll be found guilty.
No. No. No.
Please, Ellen, calm down.
Soren just can't be found guilty. I'd much rather I be found guilty instead.
Wah.
Ellen, you can't let yourself think like that. But, no! Marriage is for life, right? Do you really think you can run away from the truth and still be truly happy with him? You're not married, so how can you possibly understand? Sometimes you just gotta do whatever it takes to make things work. Nick, you talk to her.
He's not married either. Hey, don't just dump this all on me.
Mr. Wright, I'm innocent, and Soren is too. So please, prove our innocence in court.
I'll certainly do everything in my power. I just hope she doesn't lose control like this in court tomorrow. To be continued. Save your current progress? Sure. I guess. If you insist. Just this once, though. Continue to the next chapter.
September 23, 8:50 a.m. District Court, Defendant, Lobby, Number 3.
So the one thing we found out yesterday is that Soren was there at the crime scene. I only hope I can get some testimony from him that'll get to the heart of the matter.
Mr. Wright?
Good morning, Ellen. Look, I'm afraid you might not like the result of today's trial. Nevertheless...
Don't tell me you're still thinking of going that route. Soren is innocent. He can't be found guilty. Take me instead.
Ellen, please, try to get a hold of yourself.
I believe in Soren with all my heart. So how dare you doubt him? Regardless of which one of them is found guilty today, it's going to be devastating for Ellen, isn't it?
We'll just have to do everything we can. That's the best we can do, you know.
trial's about to begin, Mr. Wright. Alright. Alright. Well, let's go, Maya. Yeah. September 23, 9 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 6. Day 2. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is back in session for the trial of Ellen Wyatt. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Let's see now. Where were we? Yesterday's session, we found out about the Sprocket family's conspiracy to cover up the murder of Dumas Bloomsbury with the second reception. Taking advantage of our collective shock, the defense, as usual, made a nonsensical claim. Namely, that there was a third person present who struck the victim.
Objection!
Don't try to make it sound like I made it all up. The defendant herself made a statement about the existence of a third person, and further investigation has only proven her statement to be true. Then I presume the defense intends to focus on proving the identity of this third person. Is that all right with you, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed, Your Honor. In fact, I predict the defense will, most likely, attempt to name Mr. Soren Sprocket as the true culprit. How did you... The driver during the accident that killed Mr. Sprocket's sister was the victim. Therefore, Mr. Sprocket had a motive to murder Mr. Gloomsbury. That's what you plan to assert, is it not, Mr. Wright? Am I that transparent? Come now, Mr. Wright. Did you really think the police wouldn't uncover this information? Congrats on getting it in one, Mr. Edgeworth. But... You're wrong. Soren didn't do it. He's innocent. Ms. Wyatt, please. He's innocent, I tell you. What is this, Mr. Wright? I thought your claim about the existence of a third person came from the defendant. It did. This is just a minor hiccup. Did you not discuss your strategy for today with the defendant, Mr. Wright? Starting off on the wrong foot again is seriously cutting into my lifespan. It would appear that the defense is in disarray. Therefore, the best way to clear things up is to ask Mr. Sprocket himself what happened. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Soren Sprocket to the stand. What? Very well. Bailiff, please bring Mr. Sprocket to the witness stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh. There's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see. Soren Sprocket, Managing Director of Sprocket Aviation. Mr. Sprocket, please give your answers in words, not paper airplanes. Now then, Mr. Sprocket, please tell that doubting lawyer there what really happened at the time of the crime. Well, Mr. Sprocket. Mr. Sprocket. All right. You want me to talk about what happened when the crime occurred? In other words, after the first wedding reception? When Ellen and I were in the reception hall, right?
Not even the power of the court can stop him from marching to the beat of his own drum.
Witness testimony. What Soren remembers. I was stabbed by Dumas in the reception hall and I collapsed to the floor. The next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck. I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed for the Vista deck. When I got there, Dumas was already... I don't want to believe it, but it must have been Ellen. Nothing else makes sense.
Oh, wait just a minute here. You actually think Ms. Wyatt killed the victim?
That's right. Dumas was killed by Ellen.
This is unbelievable. How can you suspect your bride, the woman you love?
Objection!
The truth can be cruel.
I never will get over the way that the camera in these courtrooms is laid out. For some reason, I always get the impression that, well, I say for some reason, that like the primary camera is from the witness stand. And so you see Edgeworth on your right, Phoenix on your left, and the judge in front of you. But it's like actually like the other way around, and the camera is normally like from the judge's point of view, which is really weird. I mean, it's not weird in the sense, obviously you do get shots of the witness, and that works that way. But it just the fact that every time the camera swings to like the right and he's on that side instead of the other side, it's like that may not even actually be a wrong transition. I'm not doing the mental math in my head, but the point is, back.
The truth can be cruel. Ms. Wyatt, you must be very upset. Is there anything you wish to say? No. I can't believe this. Soren, I thought that at least you believe in me. Best way now to show your love for your groom is to admit your guilt and try to atone. Soren.
Hold it!
Mr. Edgeworth, I haven't even cross-examined the witness yet. And quit picking on the clearly distraught.
Yeah, that's so not cool, Mr. Edgeworth. Court is where we seek the truth. The truth is unyielding, even to the truly pitiful. Mr. Edgeworth, I find it distasteful to make a lady cry. It too, Your Honor. So what are you gonna do, Nick?
If the third person Ellen saw on the Vista deck was Soren, then we have to prove Soren was there at the time of the murder. I don't see any obvious inconsistencies in his testimony, but we have to push forward. Cross-examination. What Soren remembers.
I was stabbed by Dumas in the reception hall and I collapsed to the floor.
Hold it!
Please tell me everything you can about when you got stabbed.
Yeah, we have the immediate check to that. You could only have been stabbed in the Bark Bark place, not the other Bark Bark place. After the reception, Ellen and I were enjoying a moment alone in the reception hall. Then Dumas appeared and stabbed me. He grabbed Ellen and the timekeeper and left the reception hall.
Did Mr. Gloomsbury say anything at that time?
I don't remember. After I was stabbed, I was immobilized by the pain.
I see.
The next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck. For some reason, I cannot say the word Vista. I get this so wrong. The next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck.
Hold it!
The Vista deck, huh? But it was nighttime then. Could you really see them in the darkness?
The moon was out, so I could see them clearly. From the looks of it, Dumas was trying to push Ellen and the timekeeper off the side. So you saw the defendant about to be thrown off the airship, you say? That's right. In such a desperate situation, it would only be natural for her to fight for her life. The murder weapon was right there within her grasp.
This isn't going well at all. I've got to do something fast.
I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed for the Vista deck.
Hold it!
I understand that your bride was in danger, but... were you really able to move with a stab wound to the gut?
I was desperately trying to push the pain out of my mind.
I see. So adrenaline kicked in and gave you strength, is that right? I don't see much of anything in this statement I can refute.
That's right. I almost passed out several times as I made my way to the Vista deck. But when I got there, Dumas was already...
Hold it!
Are you absolutely sure, Mr. Sprocket? That by the time you got to the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed?
Yes.
But the Vista deck is just on the other side of the glass windows in the reception hall. Shouldn't you have been able to get there right away?
Objection!
Mr. Wright, have you investigated nothing? The only way to the Vista deck is to go to the hold and take the lift. But nobody can go into the hold because you need the key card. No matter how much one hurries, it would take at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes? How big is this blimp?
Ah, Well, that's unhelpful. But Soren had to have gotten there before the murder, or my claim won't stand. Do you have any ideas for me, Maya?
It's definitely easier to prove that someone did go to the hole than not. I mean, you can't leave anything if you don't go someplace, right?
Can't leave anything? Oh, wait a minute. I think Maya's onto something here. The lack of a certain something actually proves that Soren didn't go to the hold.
Okay. I was gonna talk about his blood being on the lift, but more rather if his keycard didn't get used. What's the matter? You stumped already?
No, I'm far from stumped, Mr. Edgeworth. I know for a fact that Mr. Sprocket didn't go to the hold.
You and your paper-thin bluffs. Mr. Sprocket's bloodstain on the lift proves he went through the hold. So what possible proof could you have that he did not, in fact, go through there?
You want proof? You got it. You can do this, Phoenix. There's gotta be proof that Soren didn't go through the hold.
Well, Mr. Wright?
This proves that Mr. Sprocket didn't go through the hold. The only people were Dumas, Pierce, and Ellen.
Take that!
As anyone can see from the hold entry record, there's absolutely no mention of Soren Sprocket entering the hold. The defense asserts that Mr. Sprocket used a different route to get to the Vista deck.
You can assert all you want, Mr. Wright. Can you actually prove another route exists? Emergency exit?
Can I prove the existence of another route to the Vista desk?
Vista desk. Again, I cannot say these words. Another route, huh? Yes. Emergency exit door. Clamber along the side of this shenanigan. It's not safe, but it exists.
I can prove it. Even if it's just a bluff, I have to present something. Anything that could prove the existence of a faster route to the Vista deck.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Show us how Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck.
Mr. Sprocket made for the Vista deck through here.
Take that!
To save his bride from danger, Mr. Sprocket opened the escape hatch and made his way along the outside wall of the Vista deck. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket?
Oh, and then he was the pterodactyl that got seen on the outside. That would certainly be a much faster route to the Vista deck.
Objection!
I'm disappointed, Mr. Wright. Is that really the best you could muster? That escape hatch is not meant to be used to get from the reception hall to the Vista deck. One slip, and that's all it would take for Mr. Sprocket to plunge to his death. I have to agree. The defense's claim is really stretching it.
Hold it!
I understand how it sounds, Your Honor. But at this point, it's too early to definitively say that he didn't go that way.
So that's what you're going with then, I take it.
Of course, Your Honor.
This is real life, Mr. Wright, not some cinematic drivel or comic book or visual novel. You have some sort of logical explanation to share that would convince us of your claim?
I do.
Yeah, so when you see someone out here, blue hair, the yellow thing, is that part of his costume? Maybe under his hat? I don't know what's under his hat. I do. Are you sure, Nick? Kind of. Actually, I have nothing. So I'll just have to wing it somehow. Wing it. Yeah, there's your hint. On what do you base your theory that Mr. Sprocket made his way along the outside? My theory that he was able to go along the outside wall despite the danger is based on power of authority, the power of love, the power of money. Oh, come on. The power of love is what got the butts in trouble. Well, I guess the power of authority also. To save the bride he loves, the groom risked his life and rushed to her side. Mr. Sprocket was able to make it to the Vista deck despite the danger, because of the power of love. The power of love. That love is a source of strength that can help one overcome any obstacle. I think I can relate, thanks to my own long, happy marriage. Wow, he actually seems to be buying it.
Objection!
Power of love, you say? That kind of illogical argument is hardly viable in a court of law. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? I'm afraid not, Mr. Edgeworth. You should never underestimate the power of love. Or the power of polls. 2-minute poll. Change gears or no? Oink. I'm afraid not, Mr. Edgeworth. You should never underestimate the power of love.
Judge gets it. He's married.
Oh. You'll understand one day when you get married. Which I won't. Exactly what is so wrong with wishing to remain unwed? Nothing. That's why we have a whole series called Ace Attorney. Way to set him off, Your Honor. Never mind all this unscientific nonsense. Are you aware, Mr. Wright, that at the time of the crime... There was a huge propeller turning at full speed between the hatch and the Vista deck? Even if a person were to go outside through the hatch... No! They'd be blown away in an instant. Where does your power of love get you now, Mr. Wright? A huge spinning propeller, you say? In that case, I have to admit it does seem impossible. I should have known. Nick, you can't make that kind of face in front of your client. You have to do the smile. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. This is all Maya's fault, isn't it? I bet Maya was the person who invented this advice. Right. Ace Attorney wins the poll. Alright. I feel like I just saw Mia looking out at me through Maya's eyes. And are we blaming Mia for it? What's wrong, Nick? Why are you gaping at me like a giant sunfish? Thank you, Maya. You just helped me remember something really important. Oh dear. Just smile? Or... There it is. There's that fiendish smile I was looking for. Now, give us a mind-blowing theory, just like you always do.
I have to turn my thinking around. Instead of wondering how Soren could have moved past that huge propeller, I just showed that he did. I have to think about what would have made it possible for him to do so.
Your Honor, Mr. Wright only makes that ridiculous face when his back is pressed against the wall. Therefore, please do hurry and give your ruling before...
Mr. Edgeworth, it's still far too early to discount my theory.
What are you talking about? Your ship's large spinning propellers have already shredded it to pieces.
But if we think a little more outside the box, I'm sure we can find a way he would have made it.
Stop trying to stall, Mr. Wright, and show us how it could have been even remotely possible, if at all. I must agree with Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, very well, Your Honor. There must have been a way, some way that Soren could have moved along this wall in spite of the propeller.
Now then, Mr. Wright, what specifically would have made it possible?
This is how it would have been possible for Mr. Sprocket to get to the Vista deck.
Oh, good heck. The airship wasn't flying. The propellers were broken. He got to the deck some other way. I'm not going to change. Plus, again, with the idea that Larry saw him on the outside, he did go. The airship wasn't flying or the propellers were broken. Do I have evidence of either of these things? Alright. Seeing how this works. The wedding venue made sure to make your dreams take flight. After the ceremony, out on the Vista deck, Sprocket Aviation's majestic Pegamoon mascots will light up the happy couple from both sides of the sweetheart table. So the ceremony was on the Vista deck. So everyone would have been out there at some point, which is interesting. If the ceremony's been had. Like, this is part of the narrative that is necessary for this, but this does not answer the particular question. Would take the airplane of his own? Oh no. He would take the airplane of his own. That wouldn't help. Activate the timekeeper. How we would get to the Vista deck. Like, oh, weird. Okay, so let's say that he went, instead of going outside here, he went down this lift and went outside from here? But then why would he go past the cabin and not... And also, why would he do that? Bark, 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 bark. I mean, that might be a thing. Instead of going alongside the side of the blimp, you come around this way, you walk up this edge, and you go over. got to the deck some other way. Yeah. Instead of going along the outside wall, the witness got to the vista deck some other way. That's why the propeller is irrelevant to this case. Really now, Mr. Wright? Because as I recall, you were the one who was arguing. Mr. Sprocket made his way to the vista deck by moving along the outside wall. Why then are you now suggesting that he got to the vista deck some other way? I agree. This new argument is a complete about-face. Yes, well. What we want to know is what would make it possible to move along the outside wall. So please refrain from changing horses midstream, defense. Yes, Your Honor. I'd better think this through a little better. Please let me try again. Okay, this is how it would have been possible for Mr. Sprocket to get to the vista deck. So here's the thing, if the propellers are broken, then how is the airship doing its airshipy thing? Well, let's say the airship wasn't flying. Which is a whole other shenanigan. That is a whole other shenanigan. If the airship isn't flying, people will notice this. If the propellers are broken, people will notice that too. What allowed Mr. Sprocket to go along the outside wall in spite of the propellers is the location of the flying chapel at the time of the crime. The location of flying chapel? But wasn't it flying high in the sky? Actually, do I have evidence saying it wasn't? Send her off from the vista deck. So we see stars up into the sky. No view to the outside. Was there not a whole other picture? Yeah, Larry's picture showing the other world is not there. Alright, so the sky is super clear. What does that tell us? Oh yeah, there's no shots of... the propellers being visible, for one. Like, do any of the indicators say anything about where we are? Height-wise in the air? What do we have that suggests... Huh? I say, if the ceremony was on the vista deck, everyone would have had to go out there. I don't know. The location of the flying chapel. But wasn't it flying high in the sky? No, Your Honor. I'm afraid it wasn't. What? Then where was it? At the time of the murder, the airship wasn't flying through the sky, but moored to the ground. What? And if the airship wasn't flying, then that means... the propellers weren't turning. In which case...
Mr. Sprocket could have gotten to the Vista deck along the outside wall. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? Mike? Oh no, he destroyed it. I don't remember. How? He stabbed himself with his pencil. That's gonna leave a mark.
Objection!
Even if the propellers weren't turning, it would have been far too risky to go that way. Ah, but Mr. Edgeworth, you're forgetting about the power of love. Yes, the amazing power of love. Not this again. Very well. For the sake of argument, let's assume this so-called power of love made it possible for Mr. Sprocket to move along the outside wall of the airship. Can you prove that the airship was tied to the ground as you claim, Mr. Wright? Oh, well, I don't have any evidence that proves where the airship was at the time. You can prove it, can't you? Ah! Maya, can you think of anything we can use to prove it? Can't say I can. Oh, wait. Didn't somebody see something outside a window at the time of the crime? Yeah. I think I remember someone saying as much. Do I have a piece of evidence that shows what was outside the airship? Yes. Picture drawn by famous children's picture book author Maurice Donin. Well, what are you waiting for? This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the crime.
Take that!
This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the murder. What kind of lousy drawing is that? It's a drawing made by Larry Butts. And what can you prove with that poor attempt at artistry? I mean, for a basic sketch, whipped out to tell you what's going on outside, that's not bad. Challenge you to draw a circle that well in sketchy form. Oh no. Larry made this drawing before he switched the lanterns, so it must have been right around when the murder was being committed. Now, if I could direct the court's attention here. See, and the judge recognizes it's a pterodactyl. Is that a pterodactyl? Does that mean that the airship actually went back in time to the Cretaceous period? Are the pterodactyls actually Cretaceous? If the judge knows that, that is horribly out of character. Pterodactyl. They existed during most of the Mesozoic, from the late Triassic to the end of the Cretaceous. Imagine. Okay. Does that mean that the airship actually went back in time in the Cretaceous period?
Objection!
We've already proven that time travel is nothing more than a gimmick, did we not? We did, and I have no intention of bringing up that argument again. But this drawing shows us an important piece of information. It shows us that the airship was actually moored on the ground. And what makes you so sure? Well, that's easy. All I have to do is consider who made this drawing. Larry. And that's right. It was Mr. Butts, and we both know what he's like. He must have seen something else and mistaken it for a pterodactyl. I can't argue with you there.
Hey, wait just one doggone second here. What kind of moron do you guys take me for? I saw with my own eyes. A pterodactyl flew right by the window, I tell you. I have the sharp eyes of an artist, don't you believe me? No. Heck. Nope. Some friends you guys are. What about the judge? You believe me, right, Your Honor?
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you need to leave this courtroom. Bailiff, if you would. Larry, go home. Come on, buddy, let's go.
Why didn't anybody believe me? Don't take it personally, Larry. I know you're just being, well, you.
Now then, so you're saying that what Mr. Butts really saw bears some relation to what was outside the airship at the time of the murder?
Yes, Your Honor. At least I think it does. What this pterodactyl really is will prove the airship was anchored at the mooring dock. It better, anyway. If it doesn't, my whole argument is a bust.
If you're that confident about it, then please go ahead and tell us what it really was.
Yes, Your Honor. Think, Phoenix. What could that pterodactyl actually have been? Oh, yeah, go ahead and disprove my hypothesis. Also, that propeller you could definitely walk around. I'm just saying. What could that pterodactyl have actually been? Oh no, literally this? What was it that Larry mistook for a pterodactyl? A portion of the Sprocket Park sign. Wow. Okay, so it's this top portion, I think. Not that I think I'm going to specifically be... Of course I'm going to specifically be barked. Yeah, it's upside down. So, in this case, you have the little tail on the bottom, and it goes all the way up. Well, this one here, little tail's in the upper left. Yeah. Mess up my hypothesis, will ya?
Take that!
Please take a good look at this sign.
At the sign. It appears to have been broken, then repaired. But what does this sign have to do with the pterodactyl?
Please focus on this part of the sign.
The part that broke off and got reattached? What about it?
How about if we turn it like this?
Oh, that shape.
It's the pterodactyl in the drawing. Yes, because Larry is actually a pretty passable artist, with decent memory for some reason. What Mr. Butts actually saw was this chunk as it was being blown through the air by wind.
What?
On the day of the murder, there were some heavy winds in the area of the mooring dock. But it's hard to imagine that this sign would make it up as high as an airship would fly. That means the flying chapel must have been anchored at the mooring dock that night. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket?
Objection!
That's more than enough of this power of love nonsense, you pop culture junkie. Present all the proof you want, but your argument is based far too much in conjecture. I want to return to reality now.
Oh, what do you mean, too much conjecture?
Even if the airship wasn't flying, that alone doesn't prove the witness went along the wall. True.
Even now, it's no more than a possibility.
Then how do you propose Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck, Mr. Edgeworth?
I noticed something as I went over the evidence. Please take a look at this hold entry record.
What about it? I don't see Mr. Sprocket listed on here anywhere.
Don't you remember yesterday's session? We had a very similar kind of argument.
Did we?
Honestly, Mr. Wright, are you going senile already? We talked about Larry Butts using the defendant's keycard to enter the hold.
Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we?
In other words, even if a person's name isn't on the entry record, it's still possible for that person to have entered by using someone else's card.
Ah!
Mr. Sprocket, you entered the hold with Mr. Nickety, didn't you? I did.
What? Why didn't you tell us that in the first place?
Pierce is indispensable. I didn't want to mention him unnecessarily and risk having him wrongly accused. I couldn't do without him. Mr. Sprocket, I ask that you testify in greater detail about your movements at night.
Meh.
Witness testimony. Actually, we're not going to get into the truth yet. It is about time to go.
Ah.
Ooh, heck. Right, right.